Tiirusista 2 vanhaa pappaa.
So, where are we? Is this empty already? Almost.
You are faster than me. Again, also in this issue. As I said in the beginning, you are my friend, but also you are my karate master.
Master, it sounds bad. It sounds really...
Yeah, for us Finns,
American.
it sounds bad, but I've learned a lot from you, and I think you were saying earlier about that I'm focusing on the how part, and it's really, I feel it's really important that we understand that there is what and how, and I have actually learned a lot of my what from you, and it's good to hear that you can get some ideas of my how. But the how part is actually difficult. You have to go with the trial and error, or how do you say? So you have to try, does this work or not, and then adjust the things. Like today, basically we did quite simple practices. We took some simple techniques and then put some simple variation there. But it has taken me a long time to kind of develop this kind of method that is between techniques and the actual sparring. So there is a lot what you can do between the just doing techniques and just go to full sparring. So there are a lot of steps, and I have taken a lot of wrong steps also.
Yeah.
And what I do nowadays, it's quite simple. It's kind of semi fighting, but it has taken me dozens and dozens of kind of wrong kind of steps to find this kind of simple practice way.
Yeah, I wish I had somebody like you telling me what to do in the 80s when I was still doing sports karate. I mean, we had a pretty good coach, and he was a top competitor in Finland, and he produced some really good fighters. I wasn't one of them. Did okay from time to time, but it was never really my thing. But I think somebody like you would have helped me a lot to understand what we were actually doing. To me, it was just like put on the gloves and shin pads and spar. That was what we did.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we learned something. We learned probably a lot, but it could have been a lot more effective.
Yeah. But about this being a master, so you have been my teacher what comes to the techniques, especially self-defense techniques, and but also I'm quite often actually quoting you on my practices, and one of my favorite quotes is that from you. I don't know, have you discovered it by yourself or have you learned it from somebody? But it's that after all we all should create our own styles, and I think it's an excellent saying that if you practice long enough, you shouldn't anymore practice any style that has some names, but you just should develop to certain directions. Either just putting some small ingredients in your own karate, or then they take big steps, whatever suits you. So I think that's very wise and master level saying to me.
Yeah, maybe with those words it might be my own quote, so to speak. But of course, I learned from many great people, many great instructors. One that comes to my mind now is Ari Lauren, very long-term judoka, and he has a saying that goes like this: listen to the teacher inside, because if you really listen to your own body, and I mean, if it works, if it feels right, if it's good for you, if it's good for your health, then it's right, and then you shouldn't change what you're doing.
Yeah. But actually, if you want to listen to yourself, it's not actually easy. It's not easy. From the physical point, but also from the motivation point. Like, I've been nowadays thinking quite much about this, that what is kind of what's the internal motivation for each person, and I think my conclusion right now is that I might be wrong. My conclusion is that most of the people don't know their own true motivation. but they just go, they go towards the generally accepted goals or something like this, but actually people don't listen their own true motivation. Like if you come to karate and if you actually want to be the new karate kid, or if you want to kick in a fancy way, then you should actually follow this true motivation, that kicking cool kicks on every direction. And maybe karate is then the wrong martial art for you. And I feel that most of the people, they have not truly asked themselves why they are practicing. What is the true reason? Are they afraid? Do they need to have self-defense skills, or do they want to? What do they really want? And if they can answer to that question, they can either find the solutions inside the karate. Karate is of course not one sport, it's a kind of rainbow or umbrella of sports. But first you need to be honest, at least to yourself, and it's difficult.
Yeah, it is. For many years I tried to convince myself I was training karate and martial arts because of self-defense.
Yeah.
Then I started thinking, well, how many times in my civil life did I really have to defend myself?
Yeah.
Not really. I used to work as a bouncer for a few years, and then of course martial arts was beneficial, but in my civil life, not a single time.
Yeah.
And
the odds getting smaller and smaller for that.
Yeah. When was the last time we were out partying?
Yeah. We are white, middle-aged, middle-class males, boring.
Yeah, we don't get into situations, at least not in the country we live in. So yeah, it's if self-defense would be the only purpose of the training, I mean, that would be a really bad investment time-wise. I mean, I went to many seminars during these years and paying money for it, so bad investment. There must be something else.
Yeah. For me, actually, also it took years, because I'm not actually interested in self-defense. I like to practice techniques that work for self-defense, but I'm not. My true interest is not in there. But definitely, it's not also in a grading. I don't care about the grades, and it's not in a competition, definitely. And so, why do I practice constantly karate? Can I be honest to you? And this sounds very weird. I've been practicing for 28 years, and do you know how many times I have skipped the training that I was thinking that I'm going to this training, that if there is no illness or something like this? How many times I've skipped the training? I've never skipped the training.
No, I was about saying never. Yeah.
In 28 years, I've never decided, okay, I was going to the practice, but I'll go to sofa and just watch TV. And many people do that, and it's natural. But for me, I just love to practice, and that's my thing. I want to maximize the amount and the quality in the practice, and that's it. That's the shit I love. You can peep that if you want.
This is not for kids anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not.